Know that you don't need to figure out all the answers today. You just need to stay so you have the chance to find them tomorrow. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. Back in 2018, I was ready to end everything. I was in a very dark place. I didn't know how to get out of it, and I did not want to be here anymore. I got up every single morning going, ugh, I can't do this again. But now I am in a much better place. I found the other side of that darkness, so it's pretty much my mission to bring the buckets of water to the people that are still in the flames. One of the ways I do that is by listening to songs for the first time and sharing my insights both from a professional level, as I have a bachelor's degree in forensic psychology, and from a personal level as someone who's been in the darkness. And today I'm going to be listening to Wings for Marie by Tool for the very first time. I've done a couple of Tool reactions here on the channel. I've never really listened to them on my own outside of that, but I have never heard this song. This was voted on as my next reaction by the channel members here. So thank you guys very much for your continued support. If there's a song that you think I should react to that will add to the mental health conversation, make sure to drop that below. But the best way to request a song is by checking out my Patreon. You get priority song requests, you get to hang out with me on fun little Zoom calls every month, and I have decided to also add coaching, both group coaching and continued one-on-one coaching for anyone that's just struggling, needs some direction, they might be in the dark, or they might just feel stuck. So I wanted to be able to offer that. So make sure to check that out. Link is in the description. But here we go, Wings for Marie by Tool. It's like a gong. Or the death toll. This feels so unsettling. And I feel like I'm being watched with all the eyes. This is unlike anything I've ever heard. This is a very unique style, very unique sound. So the things that I'd heard before of Tool, this is nothing like that. So I was not expecting this. I think this is really about the tension between the woman, he's talking about her faith and his doubt because she believed in something bigger. And him, when he didn't feel the same way. He didn't see it the same way that she saw it. And I can relate to that on many levels as someone who struggles with self-esteem, also as someone who's an atheist. I can very much struggle to see how other people can view me in a positive light or how other people can believe in a higher power. So that's really relatable. But I think as she suffers, he starts questioning those beliefs, almost like feeling like what she trusted in is what failed her. And I think this is very similar to the reaction I did to Judith, where there's a lot of how could you believe in this? Like it let you down, it failed you. How could you believe in this? And that's something that really relates to me as I have that thought quite frequently with people who are believers, where I'm thinking, you had faith and it let you down. It was not there for you. Whatever it was that you believed in wasn't there for you. And I struggle to come to terms with that. At the same time, I think her love and the fact that she still prayed for him leaves him feeling undeserving. Like he can't live up to how she saw him, like I said. So I think that that's really interesting because I don't like it when people pray for me. If that's something you want to do privately, that's fine. Like I'm not offended by it, but I just don't want to be part of that process. So if you want to do it on your own time. But from his perspective, I think that it's really this message of being undeserving. Like it's not just grief. I think it's wrestling with the weight of being loved so deeply by someone he feels was better than him. And something I will say about the song that is kind of interesting, that usually I have the lyrics here, and usually I have the lyrics because a lot of people request more aggressive stuff, you know, that can be very screamy, and I might not understand it for that reason. But this, it's like I'm sitting here finding myself having to really, really listen, and I glance at the lyrics, but I'm having to really listen, and I think that that adds a whole different depth to it by forcing you to hear that message. Ooh, build up. What? Okay, it's like it swoops in, it whispers in your ear, and then it's just gone. Then it just leaves. That's how I would describe this song. I feel like this part feels like standing in a hospital room or a funeral space. It's harsh. There's that artificial light. There's everything is completely stripped of warmth. It's very sterile. It's very dark, and he's struggling again to see what to see her as she was. And I think the selfish question that's being referred to shows he knows he's making her death partly about himself. And that's okay. Like, we do that, and that's okay, right? But I think that it's more, he's wondering what he's supposed to say to other people who don't really understand her or him. Like, how is he supposed to narrate this? How is he supposed to talk about her, remember her, share her wisdom, her life, her love with other people? Like, how is he supposed to connect to that? When he talks about he's never living a lie, I think it's an attempt to define her truthfully, but he stumbles, almost correcting himself in real time, in my opinion. I felt like he was kind of correcting himself in real time because no simple statement can capture her life. And I know anyone who's lost someone can relate to that, can attest to that struggle. I remember when I spread my parents' ashes, I actually made a vlog about it because I did it with Eric Bischoff. So there's a fun story. But I had spread my parents' ashes, and before the fact, his wife, Lori, had asked, "Is there anything you want to say?" And I couldn't think of anything. I know in the movies there's always this big profound moment, where we share some really deep thing, but for me it was, well, I've already done that. I've already lived that because I had lost my parents in '05 and '07, respectively, and I didn't get to spread their ashes until a couple of years ago. And for me it was, well, I've said what I needed to say. I've already found ways to share that now at this point, but it's very hard, because you want their legacy, their energy to be passed on, and for other people to see them how you did. But that can be so hard to find the right words, and I think that this is part of his struggle. The didn't have a life but surely saved one. I think that hits hard because it suggests she may have been limited physically but still had a very profound impact, especially on him. Like, it sounds like she had a profound impact beyond him, but especially on him. And that's obviously what's the most important thing, in my opinion, to this narrative. And then, "See, I'm all right," that feels like that fragile front. Like, he's convincing himself that he's okay. Like, he's trying to put on a mask and pretend to be okay when this is really destroying him. And then ending with, "Now it's time for us to let you go." That, just the energy there of the way the song shifted. This song was all over the place. I felt like I did not realize I was in for this kind of a ride. It was all over the place, but I love that because then I'm kept on edge. I never know what to expect. There's some good twists, but I think that it's that painful shift from holding on to finally accepting the loss. So in the Kubler-Ross stages of grief, that's when you get to acceptance, and it's not accepting, okay, I'm okay with that person not being here. It's okay, now I have to figure out what my life looks like when they're only inside of my, like, in my heart now. Their relationship has changed. So apparently, I didn't know that this was a two-part video, that this is a two-part song. So I don't usually do the same artist back to back, but because this is a two-parter and I'm really curious, I am going to dive into the other part for the next reaction. So make sure to stay tuned for that. It's going to be 10,000 Days or Wings Part 2. So make sure that you are making sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button and giving the bell a few kisses so you don't miss part 2, my reaction to part 2. Also, make sure that you are sharing your mental health stories here in the comments. That is how we shatter the stigma, is by talking about it, by opening up. You can also feel free to share a memory you have of a loved one you might have lost, because I like to help keep those people alive, keep their energy alive for you by holding space for their memories. Thank you guys so much. I love you all, and I'll see you again real soon. Mwah.